Scrimmage, Coach.
I thought it looked good. I think the competition from both sides of the ball, back and forth, the way they're playing, the effort and physicality, we're close. We still got to continue to get better, but it's starting to look the way we want it, especially this close to game time.
How would you evaluate the quarterback play?
I think there's moments where it looks really good. There's still stuff they got to clean up. There's a lot they got to handle, a lot motions, setting protections, changing protections. So they're getting better, but again, it's just a continuous process.
Where are you at with that and deciding the guy and everything right now? Where are you at?
We'll know sometime probably late next week. Before we start Idaho State prep, we'll announce it. Yep.
You think you're confident that'll happen?
Yes. Yep.
Is that a meeting with them individually, or?
Yeah, we'll meet with them individually before anything the team or public comes out.
What position at this point do you feel like is the most open in terms of still don't really have a handle on who might be in your ones and twos? Is there any of them?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them because I guess the way we're looking at it, what your ones are, but we're going to play a lot of guys. So it's kind of what's that too deep? Who's really going to play in meaningful minutes to help us win games? Who exactly the ones and twos are still going to be decided over these next 2 days. Up front on the offensive line, what exact five is that going to look like? The defensive line, same thing. What exact four will start the game up front? But we're going to have to play, 48 guys, and we feel we can.
With the quarterback, is there anybody particularly who impressed you today?
I thought there was some good moments. I thought what Jabari did, pump faking, guy jumps, he takes off. I thought that was perfect. Real nice throw down here by Giovanni on third down to get the first down. So I think there are moments I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head, but there were some good moments that I saw.
Common theme, it seems like in both these scrimmages, the defense got pretty good in the red zone. What are you seeing from them when they get to the red zone? Why is the defense pretty effective?
I think that they just do a good job. I think with our ability to run and physicality, it's hard to run the ball on us, which in the red zone, if you can stop the run, you're going to be pretty successful. And then same thing, I think our defensive backfield is pretty strong, so when they do have to throw the ball, we got great guys covered.
With Hank and Darius, is that more precautionary?
Yes. Yeah.
Nothing to expect.
No, they'll be back when we start Idaho State.
Have the two freshman running backs come along faster than you expected?
They have. I've been really impressed with their ability to handle the playbook. Like both of them, they're real good runners, tough runners. They can run, they got speed, so very impressed with where they're at right now.
You guys are getting pretty decent pressure up the middle of the line. Have you seen pretty good growth out of them in camp? I know that was kind of a question.
It was early on. I think this week I've seen a lot of growth from those interior guys.
From spring to now, is there a position group that's made bigger strides in tight end? It seems like they've just come along.
They have. I don't know as far as comparing them to other positions, but they have come a long way, and real happy with where that group is and the depth of that group.
Is it mostly just got more dudes there?
Yeah, I think we just got more options right now. I think with Gabe coming back and the addition of Alfieri along with JT and Bryce, and I think we just got more bodies that can go in.
How has the acquisition been with the in-helmet communication on both sides of the ball? Is that been something that you've been working on?
Yeah, we've been working it for the last 2 weeks, so yep.
Is on the defensive side of things, is that comfortable with the same couple of guys to have that responsibility?
Yeah, it's kind of like Keith's coming from the NFL where they had it, so he's got a pretty good knowledge of how that works on the defensive side, so it's been good.
What have you seen from your outside linebackers? Obviously replacing some talented depth in the offseason loss. Has that room grown the way you thought it has so far?
It's grown. It's still got, we got to be more consistent on the edges. There's flashes of what we can be, but consistency is what we're going for, and that's where we're at with those guys right now.
With the competition at quarterback, does a scrimmage like today factor more heavily than a practice, or is it just another day? You know what I mean?
It's another opportunity. Yeah, for the quarterbacks, it's going to be a collection of the whole camp, not just a certain day. But definitely the competition side of things, you like to see who steps up and takes control.
These last two practices, is there anything specific you're really looking for?
It's just constant improvement. Getting better than we were the day before, and I think our guys have attacked it that way, and they've shown up at practice and gotten better.
It seemed like Patterson was all over the place on the defensive side today. How do you seen him well?
Yeah, he's got a tremendous amount of talent. Maybe one of the more talented guys in that back room, and it's learning for him. So when he can play fast and go, he looks really good. And so we just got to get him to that point where he can play fast all the time.
Are you where you want to be as a team? Are you ahead of where you want to be? Are you behind at this point?
I would say I'm real happy with where we're at right now. As far as ahead or behind, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, but I'm happy with where we're at right now.
Why is that?
Just the way we're operating, the guys they're in the right spots. We're moving the right direction. The physicality, the tacklings look good. There's just a lot of stuff. The run games look good. So there's a lot of stuff like that that gives me encouragement going into Idaho State.
As a coach with a defensive background, are you more happy with the way that the defense has been keeping offense out of the end zone, or would you like to see some more offensive scores so you can?
Well, yeah,
help
that's
you
always
score
that's the
better?
hard part in this job is you love that you're keeping them out of the end zone, but you also like to see your offense score, which you can't have it both ways. But we got to be great in the red zone. Definitely on defense, that changes games, and then on offense, we got to get 7 instead of 3.
Do you have an update on Nick Moore's?
I don't.
You mentioned the tackling. Are there one or two guys that you've been really impressed with in that department?
No one in particular. I think just as a whole group, a whole defense, I think the tackling has been pretty good.
Is that something last year, obviously tackling not as consistent as you guys would have liked it to be? Have you seen solid growth? Like to where you are now, like are you impressed compared to the end of the season maybe last year?
Yeah, and so that's a good question. Missed tackles and tackling to me that's kind of one of those stats that really doesn't tell you anything because we want our guys to be disruptive and go. So I look at like there's plays against Utah where we missed 3 tackles, but we got a negative tackle for loss. Like that's good, even though it goes down as 3 missed tackles. So we talk about leverage, and if you miss on your leverage, you're missing to your help, and you can get that guy on the ground. But yes, I've been impressed with the open field tackling one-on-one, absolutely.
We had a defensive offside late in the scrimmage, but it kind of stood out because there weren't a lot of whistles.
Yeah.
Were you pleased overall with the cleanness? Not a lot of pre-snaps penalties or offsides, that sort of
Yeah,
thing?
so procedure-wise, yeah, it's been real good. Every time we've had officials out here, I think 6 times now, and there haven't been a lot of procedure calls, which is good.
Probably don't want your first drive to result in a 6th.
No, that's never ideal, unless you're on the defensive side.
That was a great
It
play.
was, yeah, it was, yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, no problem. Take care.